Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the transit of Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. This transit is going to occur on 1st of May 2024. Now Jupiter's transits in the Pisces and Aries in the last couple of years were a great relief for all of us because these were the favorable signs for Jupiter. Jupiter is the most benefic planet because it represents all the auspicious things like knowledge, wisdom, law, spirituality, religion, philosophy, literature, expansion of things. And for a woman, Jupiter also represents her husband. Taurus is the second sign of zodiac belt and it represents many things related with the second house of horoscope, like the accumulated wealth, the assets and savings that you have, the cash flow that you get, finances in general, luxuries, and any money that is stored in the liquid form. Now Jupiter will be in the enemy sign in Taurus. What we need to do is we need to search for the common themes. Jupiter and Venus both are teachers. Jupiter was the teacher of God and Venus was the teacher of demons. So another way to understand this is that Jupiter is more of a spiritual planet, but Venus is more of a materialistic planet. So whenever these two planets exchange their energies through conjunction or through the exchange of signs, there is always a tug of war going on within an individual, whether to pursue a material life or to pursue a spiritual life, and there is a lot of reflection on the moral and immoral aspects of life in general. Although these two are enemies, but their enmity is not as brutal as some other combinations like a Mars Mercury or a Saturn Sun enmity. So we can still expect some kind of a benefits from this transit, although Jupiter will be in the enemy sign. Now another common theme between Taurus, Venus and Jupiter is the wealth. Jupiter represents expansion, so it shows that there can be an expansion of wealth and assets in the life of people. It means that we can see a rise in the standard of living of people. They will have more money, assets and conveniences in life in the next 1 year. But Jupiter presence in the enemy sign would mean that people will be happy with the non-living aspects of life. So as far as wealth is concerned, they will be happy, but wherever Jupiter's transit is going to take place, the relationship related with that particular house will see a lot of frustration. So unhappiness will stem from your relationship with living beings, but as far as the non-living significations are concerned, they will give you a lot of benefits during this transit, and we will discuss it one by one for all the ascendants later in the video. Jupiter is also knowledge, and it can bring a lot of knowledge and awareness to people about wealth management, because Taurus is all about money. People will be interested in gaining higher education related to wealth, finances, assets, and there will also be a rise in finance related jobs or businesses in the next 1 year. So now let us look at how this transit is going to turn out one by one for all the ascendants. So we will first start with Aries ascendant. For Aries ascendant, Jupiter rules over the 9th house of religion, long distance travel and higher learning, and 12th house of spirituality, charity and hidden secrets. So for Aries people, Jupiter is more of a knowledge and a travel based planet. Now when Jupiter is transitioning in the second house, it is going to aspect the 6th house through its 5th aspect, and it is going to aspect the 10th house through its 9th aspect. So both the houses are related to your profession, and both the houses also represent money flow. So basically Jupiter is going to evoke the triangle of wealth, and this triangle is going to remain activated for the next 1 year. So the focus will be on saving wealth and taking care of family matters. Jupiter represents expansion, so your wealth is also going to expand, but you will have to find new ways of earning money and also focus on saving your wealth. This kind of a transit also brings in expansion in the family, generally through marriage or through childbirth. And from here, since it is going to aspect both these houses, if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD in the next 1 year, then you will see the maximum impact on your professional domain as well as on your jobs. So people will see a promotion or they will see a rise in their status level in their jobs in the next 1 year, but the impact will be maximum only if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD. Lesser effect will be on people who are going Jupiter's AD. Rest of the people who are not under the direct influence of Jupiter will see a minimum kind of a result in the next 1 year. You will also see gains coming from family or family lineage, education, teaching or counseling. That can also become a source of wealth. But since Jupiter is transitioning through the second house, it is obviously going to damage the living significators of this house. So you will see a kind of frustration getting built with your family life, especially on your relationship with your family members. This will be a matter of concern for you. The knowledge and timely counseling can help you in dealing with the second house related relationship matters. So family members are something that you will find a bit of a headache to deal with in the next 1 year. You can also use your oratory skills in order to generate wealth and get good results during this transit of Jupiter. And there will also be some kind of a travels with your family members. But the focus is going to be firmly on two things. First of all, your family members, and secondly, wealth is obviously on cards, and third will be your profession. So your profession will turn out to be a great asset for you in the next 1 year. But as I said earlier, if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD, only then you will observe these results to the maximum. You will see a rise in your profession, and that may also lead to a increase in your wealth. Now let's look at the Taurus ascendant. For Taurus ascendant, Jupiter rules over the 8th house of occult mysteries and the opposition or other people's money or money of your own spouse. And it also rules over the 11th house of higher cause gains, income, and your social network. Now Jupiter is going to transition through the first house of self and life path. So focus will be lost from all the areas of life, and whole focus will be on yourself. You would want to know why you are here in this world and what your true life path is going to be. So this is going to bring a new hope of optimism for all the Taurus ascendant people. Since the 8th and the 11th house lord is going to transition through the first house, it shows changes in the source of income for a person and major changes that are going to impact the overall life. This is a very good transit to travel and learn new things, and also a good time to make new beginnings in the overall life. Jupiter, whenever it is passing through the first house, people will start to put on weight, and since it is transitioning through the Taurus sign, they will see a lot of weight coming because of consumption of sugary substances. So you need to remain cautious of that. You need to put your diet under strict control, and you should avoid eating any sugary substance in the next 1 year. Jupiter in the first house is going to aspect the fifth house of higher learning and progeny, and the ninth house of long distance travel and your father. So these two houses obviously are going to get protected, and if you are planning for a child, then next 1 year is a very good time frame for conception. You can also pursue some kind of a higher education or a degree, because this ninth aspect of Jupiter will help you in overcoming any odds. Further, all those people who are not married will also get an opportunity in the next year to get married, because Jupiter is going to aspect the seventh house of your opposition or your spouse, and all the single people can expect to get married in the next 1 year, depending on how much the MD or AD is supporting them. So overall, this transit will turn out to be very beneficial for Taurus ascendant, provided they are able to control their eating urges and keep a check on the weight gain during this time frame. So for Gemini ascendant, Jupiter rules over the 7th house of business, your spouse or opposition, and marriage, and 10th house, which is of that of profession or career or work environment. So Jupiter becomes a career oriented planet for Gemini ascendant people, and it is going to transition through the 12th house, which is also the house of foreign land, spirituality, losses, and closures. So whenever any major planet transitions through the 12th house, it is closing time for the things that are indicated by that particular planet. So this Jupiter is going to make you interested in spirituality, and there is also a very high probability that you will travel to foreign countries or relocate to foreign lands, especially if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD in the next 1 year. Whether you want to travel to a foreign country for money, education, or for spirituality is going to be your choice, but there is a high probability that this event may happen. Now Jupiter sitting in the 12th house is going to aspect your fourth house with the fifth aspect. So if you plan to buy any property in the next 1 year, that will turn out to be very beneficial for you. So time frame from June 2024 to May 2025 will be very conducive for buying any kind of a property. Apart from this, Jupiter is also going to aspect your sixth house through the seventh aspect. So all those people who are in jobs will also see a certain kind of a stability in their work environment, and it will also aspect the eighth house through the ninth aspect. So if you are interested in astrology or in spirituality, then it is a great time to build some knowledge in this domain. You will be able to rise above the average level if you work on building knowledge in these two domains of spirituality and astrology. Transit of Jupiter in the 12th house will also see some gains coming from foreign lands, person getting involved in the knowledge of hidden or the secret affairs. For Cancer ascendant people, Jupiter rules over the 6th house of daily routine life, jobs, diseases, etc., and the ninth house of religion and long distance travel. So for Cancer ascendant people, Jupiter becomes the Lord of service and education related planet. So Jupiter is going to be transitioning through the 11th house of gains, desires and income. This is a transit where they will be focused on making good gains and income, and Jupiter will expand your gains during this transit. Now these gains can come through your elder sibling, through your social networking circle, or any kind of a business that you have. 11th house also indicates some kind of a entrepreneurship, so all those people who have their own startups or who have their own business, they will also see benefit coming because of this transit of Jupiter. Since the 11th house is 8th from the 4th house, so you will see some of the you relocating and changing your home during the next 1 year. This is also a time of promotions or better opportunities in the job. Apart from this, Jupiter is going to aspect your third house of short term traveling, courage and effort. So a lot of effort being put in gaining knowledge will lead to direct gains for you. Jupiter is also going to aspect the fifth house through its seventh aspect. So anyone who is planning to go for a higher study or are planning for a child will see a favorable time for conception in the next 1 year. And Jupiter's ninth aspect is going to be on the seventh house, so all those people who are planning to get married will see a favorable time in the next 1 year, and all those people who are already married will also see a stability in their married life because of this beneficial aspect of Jupiter on the seventh house. Since Jupiter is also the Lord of service for you, the sixth house Lord in the 11th house is a very favorable position for you to generate gains from your job. Apart from this, you will also see gains from your father or from your government or authority figures in the next 1 year. So Jupiter's transit always creates problems for the relationships that are indicated by a certain house. So in this case, you will face some kind of a conflict with your elder sibling or with your social networks or friends in general, and that is something that you need to remain careful about for the next 1 year. Now coming to Leo ascendant people are actually going to have the best benefit of Jupiter amongst all the ascendants, because Jupiter rules over their fifth house of education, creativity and children, and the eighth house of marriage benefits, occult and mysticism. So for Leo people, Jupiter takes shape of planet which can give them marriage benefits, a great knowledge of the research subjects. So Jupiter is going to transition through the 10th house of career status and people in the upper hierarchy. So it's a transit which will be totally focused on career recognition and work. You can expect to get good recognition at your workplace, and you will also see some kind of an authority coming in during the transit of Jupiter for the next 1 year. This also shows gains from father and authority figures or government. So overall, this transit is going to expand your career, authority and recognition. You will be seen as a teachers or mentors by people where you work, and you can take up any work related with knowledge management or knowledge sharing in order to have a better result in your career or at the workplace. You can also go for any kind of education which will help you later on in your career, and or it strictly shows money coming from your profession in the next 1 year. Jupiter sitting in the 10th house will make sure that you can buy a property in the next 1 year, because it is going to aspect your second house through the fifth aspect. So it is going to protect and increase your wealth, and at the same time it is going to look at your fourth house, so it is going to give you a lot of domestic peace. It is also going to create an opportunity for you to buy any kind of a property. The ninth aspect of Jupiter is going to be on the sixth house of service, so all those people who are in jobs can expect a very good time in the next 1 year, especially those who are undergoing Jupiter's MD. Jupiter in the 10th house is going to evoke the triangle of wealth for you. So all the houses related to wealth, 10th house, 2nd house, 6th house, are going to be activated because of this aspect of Jupiter. Next 1 year is all about getting money and getting recognition at the workplace. Since Jupiter also spoils the significators that are related with relationships with live people, so that is why you need to remain careful about how you handle your bosses and superiors at the workplace. But overall, this transit is going to be the best for the Leo ascendant people amongst all the possible ascendants. Now coming to the Virgo ascendant people, for Virgo people, Jupiter rules over the 4th house of home, mother and domestic happiness, and the 7th house of marriage, relationship and business partnerships. So for Virgo people, Jupiter takes the shape of a family oriented planet, and Jupiter is going to be transitioning through the 9th house of higher learnings, law, guru, religion and philosophy. So it's a transit where person can be inclined towards higher learning or higher education. They will be focused on reading about religion and philosophy, and they will be interested in taking long distance travel, more in the nature of pilgrimages, meeting people of different culture and journey that satisfies the religious curiosity in them. They will also be able to find a teacher who may guide them in their quest of spirituality. So these people will learn a lot from their teachers, and education taken in the next 1 year will help you grow in your career and income when Jupiter transits into Gemini in the year 2025 June. Now this transit of Jupiter is going to be in the 9th house, which is 12th from the 10th house. So it is also a house of loss of career and authority for you. So it also shows some stress or sense of loss around authority figures at work, and including some problems with your father at home. So it's not a good time for career in a job setup environment, and you may find continuous challenges there for the next 1 year. It is a high possibility that you will get into a relationship with someone of different ethnicity and culture, and it's a good transit for gaining and sharing knowledge. But you need to be careful about not getting into conflicts in the matters of beliefs. So don't argue with other people in terms of what they believe versus what you believe, especially if the discussion is around religion and philosophy. And you should be a bit flexible about your belief system when you are discussing it with other people. Jupiter sitting in the 9th house will be aspecting the first house, that is your ascendant, and will work to provide some kind of a stability to you in the next 1 year. And it is also going to aspect the 5th house through its 9th aspect. So all those people who are planning to pursue a higher education, or married people who are planning for a child, will find the next 1 year to be very beneficial. Now coming to Libra ascendant, for Libra ascendant, Jupiter is a doubly malefic planet because it owns the 3rd and 6th houses, and both houses are not considered very good from the house perspective of astrology. So here Jupiter is going to transition through the 8th house, which is another bad house to be in. But Jupiter here becomes an action oriented planet because it is going to pass through the house of occult mysteries and sudden events. So 8th house basically reflects anything which is hidden under the surface, and if you have the ability to scratch the surface and find out what is hidden inside, then this kind of a transit will be very helpful for you. So what I mean is that if you are inclined on serving people through higher learning of occult, astrology, mysticism, hidden sciences, or if you go for an education that is related with wealth, finance, stock market, studying astrology, then this could be a very good transit for you, because 8th house is something that showcases jobs that are related to research, technically oriented subjects, insurance, actuaries. So all those people who are in these domains will see a very good result of Jupiter, because you are going to utilize the negative energy that is associated with the 8th house. Apart from this, your career and life path will also go through a transformation, because Jupiter is going to represent expansion and 8th house represents major changes. So all of you will see a major change in your career, especially if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD. Remember, for Jupiter to give you the maximum benefit, it should also feature as your MD or at least as an AD Lord in the next 1 year, and only then you will see the full results of this transit of Jupiter in the 8th house. You should take care in the next year while driving and traveling, because 8th house is related to accidents, and the sign here is that of a Venus, which is the Taurus sign, which again represents speed. So it's a very good time to not drive your vehicle and let someone else do it for you. This transit of Jupiter here would mean it's a great time for a higher study of occult, stock market and research oriented subjects. All the people who are doctors, especially those who are surgeons, will also see a very good time in the next 1 year. This transit will also bring in a certain kind of frustration or dissatisfaction with your spouse, because the expectations are going to be very high. So this is something you need to be cautious of in the next 1 year. And if you are planning to write your own will, or if you are going to ask someone else to include you in their will, then this is also a great time. Basically, inheritance planning is something this Jupiter is going to support in the next 1 year. But overall, Libra ascendant people should be ready and receptive for some major changes in the overall life, and they will have a good amount of money coming in the next 1 year, because Jupiter is also a natural significator of wealth, and Taurus sign itself denotes wealth. They meeting together in the 8th house would mean that some kind of a gain is seen from the family members of your spouse, or you could also see some kind of an inheritance coming in your way in the next 1 year. For Scorpion ascendant people, Jupiter rules over the second house of family, values and speech, and fifth house of education, children. So for Scorpion people, Jupiter takes shape of knowledge and belief related planet. Jupiter is going to transition through the seventh house. When it is transitioning through the seventh house, it is going to aspect the first house. So it is going to provide you a certain kind of a stability in your life. Apart from this, it is also going to look at the 11th house of gains. So you will see some kind of a material gains also coming in the next 1 year. Now one has to remember that whenever Jupiter transitions through a certain sign, they will not impact the non-living things, but they will impact the living things, that is your relationship with them. So Jupiter's transit here would mean that you will see some kind of a conflicts, or rather confusion, coming in the picture with your spouse. So you need to be very careful of how you deal with your spouse in the next 1 year, because Jupiter will corrode your relationship with your spouse slowly. So that's why if there are some differences that you already have with your spouse, Jupiter is going to expand them, because Jupiter is a significator of expansion. And that's why if you already have a business and you have Jupiter's MD going on, then this Jupiter is going to expand your business or business partnerships, because business is a non-living thing. So Jupiter will continue to benefit it, but at the same time, if it's a living relationship, especially with a person who is your spouse or your opposition or even your business partner, that relationship will go for a toss. And you should try to accommodate these people as much as possible through crystal clear communication. It is going to be a very good time to start your own knowledge sharing business, or any business that is related with counseling or teaching. Since Jupiter is in the house of opposition, your reach amongst other people will expand. All those people who are in politics will also see their popularity increasing in the masses. They will have a public image of a guide, counselor or a learned person, and business obviously is going to bring a lot of benefits for you in the next 1 year. Now for Sagittarius ascendant people, Jupiter rules over the first house of life path and purpose, and fourth house of home and mother and domestic comforts. So for Sagittarius ascendant people, Jupiter is going to transition through the sixth house of daily life, disputes, diseases and obstacles. So the focus will be to move out of a relationship, and focus will be completely on the daily work life or routine. They will face some obstacles or conflicts in the relationship matters, especially with those indicated by the sixth house. So if you have a good rapport with your uncle, aunt, or if you behave well with your servants, all of that will go for a toss after Jupiter comes in the sixth house. So you need to remain very cautious of how you deal with these people. At the same time, Jupiter in the sixth house would mean that you need to take care of your health, and Jupiter is going to expand the triangle of finance, because Jupiter sitting in the sixth house will aspect your 10th house through the fifth aspect, and it is also going to aspect your second house through the ninth aspect. So the triangle of finance 2, 6 and 10 is going to get created. And if you are undergoing Jupiter's MD, then you will see a lot of money coming to you in the next 1 year, and a lot of professional gains coming into the picture, because Jupiter's aspects are always very beneficial. So the only thing that you need to focus on would be to how to deal with the people that are indicated by the sixth house, that is your uncle and aunts or servants, and how you look after your health, because transit of Jupiter through the sixth house, that too in the sign of Taurus, would mean that you can see some kind of a disease related to your abdomen, disease related to intestine, bad diseases like diabetes coming into the picture. So if you are a bit older in age, then you need to remain very cautious of your health during this transit of Jupiter in the next 1 year. If you are dealing with loans or litigation related matters, then also it will be a difficult time for you to deal with such kind of issues. It is a great time to educate yourself in the fields that are denoted by the sixth house. So doctors will find this time to be very favorable for enhancing their knowledge regarding the knowledge of medicines. Lawyers will also be able to do well in the next 1 year. Coming to the Capricorn ascendant, Jupiter rules over the 12th house of spirituality, foreign land and foreign companies, and third house of efforts, courage, communication, traveling, and your hobbies. So Jupiter is going to transition through the fifth house of education, romance, and creativity. So from here, it is going to look at the ninth house of higher learning, 11th house of gains, and first house, which is the ascendant. So Jupiter's transit will generally be beneficial for you because it is aspecting all the good houses, ninth, 11th and first. So the impact on the first house would mean that it will work to give you some kind of a stability in life in the next 1 year. And at the same time, if you are planning to go for a higher learning or higher studies, then this is a very good time for you to do that. Apart from this, this transit would mean that you have to remain very focused on education, creativity, but you will see certain kind of a frustration coming in due to your kids. Your relationship with them may go for a toss. Jupiter is always going to impact the relationship with living beings whenever it transits through a certain house. So since it is transitioning through the fifth house, you will see some kind of a confusion coming in as far as your communication and your relationship with kids is concerned, and this is something that you need to watch out for. But next 1 year is a very good time to educate yourself in the field of your interest or hobbies. This kind of a transit also indicates a change in your career, because the fifth house is eighth house from the 10th house. So when you count from the 10th house, fifth house falls to be the eighth house, and it also indicates some kind of a change or transformation in your career related matter. All those people who are planning for a child, depending on whether an MD or AD is favorable to them, will also be able to go for a conception in the next 1 year. For Aquarius ascendant people, Jupiter rules over the 11th house of gains, income and desire, and second house of family, wealth and speech. So for Aquarius people, Jupiter takes the shape of a wealth and a desire oriented planet. Now Jupiter is going to transition through the fourth house of home, mother and peace of mind. From here it is going to aspect the eighth house through the fifth aspect. So it is going to protect you from any kind of a sudden event or an event that may cause you a loss or harm. And it is going to aspect the 10th house through the 7th aspect. So it is also going to have an impact on your career. And apart from this, it is also going to aspect the 12th house through its ninth aspect. So wherever Jupiter aspects, it protects the significations that are related to that particular house. So the next 1 year for Aquarius ascendant people is all about dealing with the matters related at home. So this is a period of gain of house property or any other real estate property, because Jupiter represents expansion. it may also mean owning a huge real estate property as well, or it may also indicate a renovation of a existing property. So focus will remain firmly on your relationship with your mother and maintaining a domestic harmony. But as Jupiter transits through house, it impacts the relationships that we have with the living things of that house. So your relationships with mother would be the most challenging for you to maintain in the next 1 year, and there is a possibility yet you will love to stay away from home or your mother in order to avoid any kind of a conflict. If you have professions where you work with foreigners or you work in an MNC company, then this is a good time for you to progress in the next 1 year in your professional domains. Otherwise, it's a very good time to build your knowledge around religion, spirituality, research, astrology, or any kind of a subject which will bring you in touch with foreigners and will also work to introduce peace of mind in the next 1 year. So for Pisces ascendant people, Jupiter rules over the 10th house of your career, fame and reputation, and the first house of self, life path and life purpose. So for Pisces people, Jupiter takes shape of a path and a purpose oriented planet. Now Jupiter is going to transition through the third house of communication, travel, efforts, action and businesses. This shows that they will be interested in collecting information and work hard on businesses that are related to communication and counseling. They may also have businesses that are related with finance and wealth. They will travel far away from their homeland and they will focus on things that are away from their home, and traveling is going to be very frequent. It is a high possibility that you will start to work on a possible business venture, and that business would be knowledge oriented or knowledge sharing business. This Jupiter is going to make you focus on your hobbies, skills and communication skills, and your relationship with younger brothers will remain a concern area for you. Whether it's a younger brother or a sister, you will have to put a lot of efforts in order to mend or improve your relationship with them. Your neighbors relation also comes into the picture because that is also showcased through the third house. So tackling these relationship challenges is also one of the priority areas for you in the next 1 year. Third house also indicates efforts. So this is a transit for putting best effort in your businesses in order to gain wealth and power. Jupiter from the third house is going to aspect the seventh house through the fifth aspect. So this Jupiter is going to bring stability in your married life, and your relationship with your spouse and business partners are also going to improve. Jupiter is going to fortify your luck through its seventh aspect on your ninth house, and it is also going to fortify your gains by focusing on the house of gains or the 11th house. So if you look overall, if you are able to take care of your relationship with your neighbors, younger sisters and basically younger siblings, then this transit may turn out to be quite fruitful for Pisces ascendant people, because Jupiter anyways is a very favorable planet for them.